Hello Internet, my name is Richard DePaula, and I would like to introduce my project called Capoeira Diaspora, Integration with the Land of the Rising Sun. Now for anyone wondering, Capoeira? What's that? The simple definition is that it's a Afro-Brazilian martial art, comes from Brazil, was born in Brazil, developed by African slaves as a means of fighting against their oppression. And from there it evolved. Simple definition. For anyone that practices capoeira, I'm sure they know it's a lot more complicated than that. It means different things to different people. So I decided to interview a mestre, which is master of capoeira, Mestre Penteado, to ask him what is capoeira, or at least get an idea of what does it mean to him.
Capoeira é arte, capoeira é luta, capoeira é dança, capoeira é folclore, capoeira é alegria, capoeira é felicidade, capoeira é música, capoeira é tudo que se você imaginar é a capoeira. Tudo que você imaginar engloba a capoeira. É um esporte, uma atividade, uma arte muito rica, né? Isso aí é a capoeira.
I think what makes capoeira so interesting is it has such a strong subculture and history. All these different elements that come together and can be found in pretty much any other culture. The dance, the language, music, etc. And I mean, all of these things can be found in different cultures, and capoeira carries it wherever it goes.
E trazem cultura também?
Muita cultura, as pessoas que são aí são de origem, né? O mestre acordeon é estudante de mestre Bimba, o mestre João Grande foi estudante de mestre Partinha. Então são parte da origem da capoeira, parte da raiz, parte da história.
So, why Japan? Because it's Japan. I mean, Japan has a reputation for being very reserved. They often keep themselves not really expressing their thoughts or emotions, and a lot of times it's just so that it'll make a scene. Yet, capoeira is fairly widespread in Japan. I mean, it's not the most popular martial art, but it's still all over the place. I've already found in Tokyo, in Toyama, Okinawa, lots of places. And if I wanted to, I could probably explain that by noting Japan's long history with Portugal and its relationship with Brazil. I mean, if you look at Brazil alone, it has one of the largest populations of Japanese outside of Japan, 1.4 million. Most of them are in Sao Paulo. And in Japan, there's about 250,000 Brazilians living there, which is the most Latin American population in Japan. But rather than focusing on the history, I'm more interested in the cultural aspects. What is it about the cultures? What's at work there? The relationships. I mean, if most Japanese tend to be reserved and prefer not to make a scene, well, what's it like for the average Japanese to practice capoeira, which is itself a very expressive martial art? What elements of these two cultures are at work in order to attract each other? How does the average Japanese perceive capoeira? How do they perceive the art with respect to their own outlook, their own influence of their own culture? And last but not least, actually probably the most interesting is, in what ways have these two cultures influenced each other? I'm hoping when this project is complete that it'll be educational and will provide insight into the inner workings of these two cultures. Right now it probably seems like there's not too much going on, not that much footage, not too many clips, and that would be mostly correct simply because I'm not in Japan yet. That's where you come in. The $1,500 that I'm looking to raise through Kickstarter is the base cost in order just to get to Japan, and the rest I will front on my own. But anything beyond the goal of $1,500 will be a huge help towards making this project just that much better. For example, it'll provide assistance with the travel costs in order to get footage from all over Japan, from Okinawa all the way to the north, Hokkaido. It'll also help with the cost of film equipment to ensure that we have consistently higher quality footage. So every little thing goes a long way and will be greatly appreciated. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the project, just check out this URL right over here. It's the link to the Kickstarter where you can read up on it. And if you're already watching this from the Kickstarter, then be sure to check out the rewards over here. Hopefully there's something that interests you. Thank you for your support. Hopefully I will keep in touch with you from Japan.